We are in geometry. Today's date is January 29th, so put it on your paper, January 29th. Make sure your name is also on your paper, 1/29. All right, so vocab, angle of elevation and angle of depression. So we're talking about depression today. Elevation, generally speaking, say you're going to draw a picture with me. So say you have the ground level. And then this is the sky. You can do like a sun up here to make sure that you know that this is the sky, whatever picture you want to do. But angle of elevation, if there's a person standing on the ground, this is the ground, and they're looking up into the sky, maybe you're looking at a bird. This is Mr. Sandell's bird. This angle right here, this theta, is looking up. That's the angle of elevation. Angle of elevation is this angle. It's just a word that lets you know you're looking up, you're not looking down. However, let's say you're looking down from a building. Let's go ahead and draw a building. You can draw little windows in your building. And let's say you're looking down onto the ground. You're looking down in this direction and the ground level is down here. If you're looking down, this is an angle of depression because you're looking downward. So now you have a picture definition of elevation and depression. They will be used in a few of the word problems, although I think every single word problem has a picture, but just so you know, elevation is looking up, depression is looking down. I know, right? It matches what we think. All right, Chewy, you want to read your own problem?
Sure. What's a rower? Chewy, a champion rower, he needs to figure out the distance between a point, from a point on the shore to Shoal Island or
All right, yeah, and then we have this diagram down here. I just took a screenshot of Google Maps. And so this length here is 2 miles. We have a right triangle, which means we can use trigonometry. It looks like Chewy, our champion rower, is going to be rowing this distance, and he needs to figure out how far that is. How am I going to do this problem? How am I going to figure out how far Chewy, our champion rower, is going to be rowing? Quiet raised hand. Chewy already has his XP. Let's come over here. That's the wrong class. I only see 2 hands so far.
What's the question?
How am I going to set up this problem? I need to set it up. All right. I don't know who's throwing stuff, but that's the beauty of marbles. I can just take out a handful and say, stop throwing stuff. All right. So, Martine, go for it.
You have to find out what the question is.
Yep, and how am I going to do that? How am I going to set it up? No? You want to call on someone else? All right.
To set it up, you would have tangent and then theta, the angle is 56.
Tangent
And then equals x over 2.
is equal to x over 2. So this is a review of last night's, actually 2 nights ago, homework. So you're taking tangent of the angle. If this is our angle of reference, then I'm going to go all the way across here, and maybe I can do this in a lighter color so you can see it a little bit easier. A lighter color, and this is going to be opposite. Opposite. And if you can't write on top of that because it's too dark, you can just write out here and do an arrow. You can say opposite like this and do an arrow, say yes, that is the opposite. So we have the opposite labeled. We know that this is the adjacent because it's right next to our angle. So this is the ADJ, the adjacent, which is also kind of hard to see. So I'm doing opposite over adjacent. I'm doing x over 2. I'm going to solve for x. All right, I need someone to raise their hand and do the calculation on their phone, on their calculator. Who can get an answer? I'm expecting about half the class to raise their hand on this one. Get the answer for x. Thank you. So you're doing the calculation right now. There's Ellery's. So far, only India has raised her hand. I'm looking for a hand that has not participated, that knows how to calculate x, how to find the measure of angle x, or find the measure of length x. Everyone should be pulling out their phones, pulling out the calculators. Ah, there's some more hands. All right, thank you, Caroline. You can put down your hand. I know that I can call on you. I can call on either Caroline or India so far. You can put your hands down if you want. I need other hands. So far, I only have 2. Is there anyone aside from Caroline and India that knows how to do this? There's Anna's hand, Beverly's hand. Okay, now they're starting to shoot up. We'll give it to Caroline. 2.97. All right, let's check if we got that correct. So, in order to get x by itself, what did you have to do to both sides, Caroline? There it is, multiply by 2 on both sides. So I'm trying to calculate 2 times tangent of 56. Those 2's cancel out. So let's pull up our calculator. So I'm going to say 2 times, and I need to do tangent of 56 now. So 56 tangent. This is tangent of 56, and if I hit equals, it's going to multiply that by 2, and I get 2.965. That means I'm rounding this 6 up to a 7. It is indeed 2.97. Make sure that everyone can get our calculators ready. This is almost the same type of problem that we're used to. It is a word problem. Thank you. Close. Let's do another one. So, Emily, do you want to read your own problem? All right, thank you. All right, so Emily's trying to make her railing here. We are trying to solve for this unknown angle. Any ideas for how we can even draw a right triangle? The right triangle hasn't even been drawn for us, and that's how it is going to be for half of the problems on Khan Academy or on the paper version of the homework. How am I going to draw a right triangle where this is one of the angles of the triangle? Does anyone see it? Lorea sees it. India sees it. Anna sees it. Beverly sees it. Anyone else sees it? Where am I going to draw that triangle? All right, Lorea, where am I going to draw it? You want to just come up to the board and point? It'll probably be easier. Yeah, sure. Perfect. Okay, yeah, so I'll do the same drawing on mine. Everyone, go ahead and draw this as well. So Loretta drew a straight line through there, a straight line through there. There is my right triangle. We know that that right triangle is a right triangle because this length, I count up 1, 1, 1, and 1. Well, eventually I'll be doing that later. Sorry, those are the wrong ones. I went up 1, up 1, up 1, which is the same as going up 3, so that does match perfectly with that stair level. And now I need to figure out the length of this triangle. This is a right triangle. I can clearly see what this length is 3, but then I need to add this little bit. I need to calculate how long that length is. Who can do that for us? So Lorea has her card in. Boom. Thank you. Oh. All right, India, what am I going to do?
The length opposite of the angle
All right.
is going to be 4 because when you go across on the stairs, you see that you're going 5 stairs across. Sorry, 5 stairs.
5 stairs across. Okay. So this length right here, let's label 5 because we went 5 steps worth. So this is going to be a 5. Thank you, India. And I need someone else tell me this length. Tell me my adjacent length. Beverly. 4. How'd you get 4? 3 plus 1. So this length right here, I can do those in boxes so they stand out a little bit better. 3 plus 1 gives me 4 for this length. Perfect. Thank you, Beverly. You can turn in your card. All right, so now I have my right triangle set up, which is sometimes the hardest part of these problems. How am I going to solve this now? What is the way that I set up this problem? You can either do just the trig function, or you can do the trig function and the fraction. Whatever part of this problem you want to set up. Quiet raised hand, someone that has not participated yet. How am I going to set up this problem to find this unknown angle? Which trig function? What's the fraction? If you've already done your card, go ahead and just write down what you think it is. All right, is there anyone that has a quiet raised hand that knows how to set up this problem? Only one person? 2 people? 3 people? Raise your hand only if you have your card, please. All right, Oscar.
Is it tan?
It is tangent. Tangent of what? You can make whatever variable you want.
X.
Sure. Tangent of x. All right, thank you. Did you want to do the fraction too, or did you want to call on someone else to do the fraction?
It's 1/3.
1/3 like that?
Yeah.
It's a little bit off because our two possibilities are 5 and 4.
Is it 5/4?
It is indeed, yeah, 5/4. 5/4. Thank you, Oscar. And you can turn in your card. All right, so from there, how am I going to solve for that angle, that unknown angle? Let's round to the nearest tenth, by the way. What am I going to do to both sides in order to get x by itself? Anna?
Multiply by arctan.
Yeah, and it's technically not multiplying, it's taking the arctan of it. That's how you say it. But yeah, you're probably going to write it correct. You take the arctan of that side. You take the arctan of this side. Thank you, Anna. You're at the very top. All right, so I'm going to have to take the arctan, and that will leave me with the tans crossed out, and I'll just be left with x, which is what I wanted. Now I need to find what arctan of 5/4 is. I need someone to do that on their calculator and round it for me. Arctan of 5/4. Ooh, there's some good hands. Yeah, Aurelio.
Or I have a different answer.
Different answer? All right, Cheyenne.
I got 51.
51.34 like that? All right, yeah, let's check it out. So I need to do 5/4 on my calculator, 5 divided by 4, which is equal to 1.25. And then I take the arctan, so second tangent, 51.34. Yeah, perfect.
Did you put equal after?
I told you it was wrong, brother.
You don't put equal after?
We're not multiplying it by anything, so if I hit equal, it'll keep taking arctangent and arctangent of this again and again. So as soon as you take a trig function, it automatically takes it like that. You don't have to hit equals. If I multiply or divide, then I have to do an equal sign. Yeah, that's a good question. In fact, that's such a good question, I'm going to give you more XP for that.
Such a good question.
X is equal to 51.34. I guess we rounded it to the hundredth place, which is fine. And our unit here is degrees. Make sure that is boxed. Do we box our last answer? We did. 2.97. Ooh, we forgot our units on this one. Does anyone want to get some easy participation points? What were the units for this one? Jaden.
Miles?
It is indeed miles.
That's a good way to get
Because it says miles right there.
Do I get XP for that or no?
You do. And you get your card in.
Verification?
All right. Are there any questions before we go on to the homework? No more questions? All right, go ahead and write your summary. In your summary, it's going to be pretty brief. The general idea is somehow first make the right triangle and then use your pre-existing knowledge. So that needs to be in your summary. Somehow say right, or somehow draw a right triangle as your first step. All right, that concludes this lesson.